Good evening and welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway here at Talladega, Alabama. The Full Throttle Sim Racing Xfinity Series is on tap tonight. Here at Talladega should be a lot of fun. With me, Brody Hanna. Beside me is Dean Doucette. Dean, a little bit of a curveball here for these guys. The weather's looks like we got a little late afternoon action going on here. Was unexpected, and talk a little bit about how these cars are a little bit different than trucks.
Yeah, thanks, Brody. These cars are slightly different. The bumpers and the noses don't line up quite as well. You got to be really careful. Any contact at all in the corners, and you'll send someone spinning. You also got to be mindful of your engine overheating. We've seen in practice guys blow engines in as little as 2 laps from pushing right on someone's tail. So that'll be something to watch. Other than that, it's going to be an interesting race tonight. I'm really interested to see someone like Bobby Terrell, who's extremely fast on our mile and a half and short tracks and stuff. I don't think I've ever seen him on a super speedway. It would be interesting to see what him and Jake Hounshell can do, guys like that.
Yeah, you mentioned Bobby Terrell. He's one of the guys we're going to talk about next. We're going to throw up the point standings. They're currently in qualifying, and we'll give you those results here as soon as they finish up. But on the screen now is the current point standings for the FTSR Xfinity Series. Bernard Person leads the points, 148. He's 2 points over Dustin Schwingle, and we mentioned in the truck race how great Schwingle is at these super speedways. So this could be a good points night for him. And you have Mike Grandy, Bobby Terrell, and Brian Bliss, your top 5. Bliss only 21 points back, looking to get into points contention as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's room for a few guys to move up, but Dustin Schwindle's got to be licking his chops. I don't know if he's ever come to a super speedway and been this close to the points lead. It's great for him points wise. He's had some great points nights along the way, and he's definitely a favorite here in this race.
Yeah, and these guys, once they leave here, they'll be headed to Kansas Speedway next week with the Truck Series. Their schedule kind of mirrors. If you watch the end of the truck race, you'll know this. October 18th is Kansas, and then after that, they'll head to Martinsville, the little tiny paperclip track. And then up to Texas Motor Speedway, ISM Raceway, and Homestead, Miami will finish off the season here. 10 races. We are at halfway for this season. So these guys are halfway home, and those points positions or those points gains are starting to really matter in the championship hunt.
Yeah, and as we've seen in the truck race, survival is a big part of it at super speedway racing. We could see a big move in points, and you just don't want to be that guy who's in that first wreck and ends up with a 30th place finish and then kicks you right to the bottom of the points.
Well, here at Full Throttle TV, we're not just about the FTSR Full Throttle Sim Racing Series. We also have Dirt Series going on. The American Dirt Series, the second race of the season. The dirt track at Charlotte is going to be a lot of fun, but Sundays at 7:30 kicks it off with the Sprint Car Action Series, sponsored by Tim Hunt Designs. So yeah, we got a little dirt action going on too, Dean, and we've enjoyed that so far.
Yeah, I love the dirt action. It's something new for us, and I'm really starting to enjoy it. It's fantastic. You guys should all come out and watch that.
Well, there shouldn't be any sliding around here at Talladega, although we did see some sliding around the Truck Series. We're hoping hoping that doesn't happen here, but you never know. We're gonna go ahead and throw up the top 10 times right now, and we got one of the newcomers here in the league at the top of the board.
Yeah, this is good to see. Mike T. James there on your pole right now, and Lane Allen on the outside of him. This is going to push Schwindle back to third, a bit of a surprise, and his teammate Boris will be back down in, I think that's sixth. Starting fourth. You want me to run them down, or?
Yeah, you can. We're gonna do that in a minute. I just wanted to throw it up though, and show your front rows. Very interesting. You got Lane Allen, who's really kind of picked up this whole thing and picked up his game as of late. On the outside pole, and Mike T. James, you said one of the new guys here, um, actually on the pole. But yeah, Dustin Swingle qualified third. It's kind of rare though to see him not on the pole here at one of these super speedways.
It really is. It's almost shocking to see him and Boris not starting 1-2. But you're looking back at, in fifth there with Jason Spear. our race winner in the Truck Series. Another great starting spot for him.
Yeah, he's starting to make a name for himself at these super speedways. He's starting to show a little speed here, so he may be known for this kind of stuff. As I believe we're starting to see the trucks roll out on the starting grid, and we'll give him a few minutes, and we'll go through the lineup here shortly. But rolling on back, I'm trying to look for some surprises here. You got Bobby Terrell, didn't take a time starting 20th tonight. He's going to have to fight his way through the field because he's up there in the points. And our points leader, I believe we already covered him. He's in what, fourth place, so that's a good solid starting position for him.
Yeah, Bernard's solid, super speedway racer, solid racer in general. He's your points leader, got a good starting spot. Look for him to have a good night. You know, you mentioned a couple guys not taking qualifying time, starting at the back of the field, and you know, no surprise, David Hensley, who come home, I think, fifth in the truck race. He'll start back there again. It worked for him last time. He just stayed out of trouble and ended up coming up front.
All right, well, I believe they're going to start rolling here shortly. We're going to go ahead and start with the starting lineup here, the Full Throttle Sim Racing Xfinity Series here at Talladega.
All right, on your pole, Mike T. James in the 45 car. On the outside of row 1 will be the 14 car of Lane Allen. Starting third, inside of row 2, the number 7 car, Dustin Schwindel. On the outside of row 2 will be the number 8, your points leader, Bernard Person. Truck race winner, the 83 of Jason Spear, will start in the 5th spot. On the outside of him will be the 9 of John Morris, starting 6th. Jake Hounshell, a strong racer in the 02 car, will start in the 7th spot. TJ Bartel will be starting 8th in the 98. Mike Grandy will start in the 9th in the number 10 car. And in the 10th spot will be Jeff Sharp in the 73 car.
11th place, you have the 17 of Steve Loomis in a Ford. Right beside him in 12th is going to be Sherwood Williford, number 33. 13th is going to be the 4 of Brian Bliss. And starting beside him is the 59 of Ralph Blair. 15th place, you'll have Brian Conklin in the 37. And starting beside him is going to be, I lost my spot, the 16th is going to be Will Long in the 12 in the Ford. 17th place is going to be Andy Tico in the 65. And beside Andy Tico will be the 95 with Charles Wyden. We'll watch Charles tonight and see if he can make his way from the back. And then...
Yeah, it looks like Jason Hounshell will start 18th, Charles Wagner 19th, Bobby Terrell will start 20th, Mark Herzog, Richard Hines, Kevin Cochran, Donnie Staubach, Sean Russell, David Hensley, Jeff Pratt, and Jamie Christensen will round out the field.
Yeah, so we have a pretty packed field here. Looks like we're going to have 27, maybe 28 starters here tonight, and a lot of guys. And we just hope that more of them finish here than finish in the trucks.
Yeah, tonight in the Xfinity race, we're going to have, well, this afternoon, I should say, we're on the 66 laps today. So we will have pit stops, and it'll be interesting to see who comes in first and at what lap they...
Quick. Keys to the race tonight, patience. Just like in the truck series, you want to be patient and wait to the end to make your move. Clean pit stops. You want to have a good smooth pit stop, especially if it's green flag. And teammates. Will teammates come into play? We saw that happen in the truck race. Unfortunately, they didn't make it to the end, but it's good to have friends out there.
And the pace car is coming off.
That's right. We're getting ready for green. They're coming through the tri-oval. Another thing we have to watch is engine temps. We saw that be an issue in practice, so we'll see how this plays out here. They come through the tri-oval waiting on the green flag, and the green flag's underway, and a straight put.
Who wants to get out front bad? He's taking the outside lead. He's gonna...
7 ducked out. That opened the hole for Spear just to kind of lay in there in second place, and he's going to ride right behind Mike and give him a great push. And Mike's going to lead lap 1 here at Talladega.
Yeah, great job for Mike. We're not too familiar with him yet, but he's looking strong. You know, a few guys here didn't take the start. It looks like Donnie Staubitz and Mark Herzog didn't start tonight. That's unfortunate for them.
Yeah, it's tough for those guys. And if they start now, they're going to be laps down. It's going to be tough to make that up. We saw that in the truck race. But yeah, they come through 3 and 4, and still 2x2 up front. These guys are riding in, I guess, line on the outside. It looks like they're kind of trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see today if they can get that a little more organized. And it looks like they already have. In the truck race, they just never could get it, you know, more than a couple of cars lined up and nice tightly, you know. But they look like they're pretty organized right now. That line just might come around. Looks like
Yeah.
Spear has taken over the race lead here.
No, still showing Mike James for me.
Oh, sorry, he just was off my screen for a minute.
Yeah. Well, it can happen that fast, though. It happens fast here at Talladega. They come through 3 and 4, and yeah, the outside line's looking fairly organized here, trying to make something happen as they come off 4, trying to give the 7 that big push of Schwingle, trying to get up their lead lap. It's good for his points battle as well.
Yeah, just thinking about the race as this goes on here, Brody. You know, we talked a lot about the very high line, and what do you think about the third against the wall line here in these Xfinity cars?
You can carry a lot of momentum off the corners by running the high line. You can get a great run off the corner. If you have somebody tucked up behind you, maybe 2 cars behind you, you can get a great run down the backstretch. But you also, I think you kind of need that side draft as well. That's one of the keys, getting down there. You don't want to do it early, but getting down close to those cars and side drafting and getting a little bit of a run that way. All that, you can use all that help to get you a great run down the straightaway and into the turn.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And I think that's why you see early in the race, the high line doesn't really work. It's just those guys aren't willing to get low enough and tight enough to that inside lane to get that side draft. But you'll see it as this race progresses, and patience, one of our keys to the race, wears off. They'll get tighter and tighter. And as I say that, it looks like Schwindel's trying to tighten it up a little bit right now.
Yeah, we're 4 laps in. They're on lap 5 now. And again, a little bit longer race than the truck, so they're going to kind of ride here for the 66 laps. And you're 4 laps into a 66 lap race, and you know that, especially if you're up front, you just want to kind of ride, stay in contention, but don't push the issue, and be around when it matters.
Yeah, I'm watching looking at a couple of guys who may have seemed to have moved up. I'm not sure how exactly they're moving forward, but you got a guy like Stephen Loomis, started 11th. He's up to 7th now, and that's a good run for him. And Brian Bliss up to 8th from 13th. So there's some movement going on here.
Yeah, we're on board with Stephen Loomis. You're right. He's made some moves here. He's up to well, it's showing 8th, but I think 7th now. And I continue to make some moves here on the inside, pick off positions one by one. And sometimes that's what you need to do, kind of put yourself in position, get those positions early, make the right moves, get in the right lane, you know, the lane that's moving, that's where you want to be. And just kind of, now you're going to settle in and kind of ride, and then get what you can, at least till pit stops.
Yeah, this is definitely the key to the race. I mean, barring a caution prior to pit stops, it's just so key to get. I personally always like to get in the first group. Other guys like to get in the second group and get that run up on the, you know, after a lap after the pit, and get the run on the top group and go right on by them. Many different strategies, and teamwork's going to be key here.
Yeah, you speak of key teamwork. I'm trying to look to see if any of our teammates have kind of found themselves together. And no surprise here, you got John Borst has worked his way up there with Dustin Schwingle. John Borst in the 9 there on the bottom, 3rd car in line on the bottom, and Schwingle leading the outside lane. So a couple of teammates, we got to watch those guys, because we've seen how strong those guys can be lined up.
Yeah, don't be surprised if, I mean, these guys have been known to work super speedway racing the way it should be. Don't be surprised if Borst backs up just a little bit and lets Schwindel come up in front of him, or vice versa, I should say.
Yeah, those guys have been known to work really well together, and we'll watch that. Mike James, currently your leader, started first, still in first. Second place right now is going to be the 7 of Dustin Schwingle on the outside, leading that outside lane. Third place, tucked up behind The 45 of Mike James is going to be the 83. That's going to be Jason Spear, our truck winner, just about 30 minutes ago. And then in fourth place on the outside, giving a great push to the 7 of Schwingle, that's going to be the 14 of Lane Allen. And then in the battle for fifth, it's between John Borst and Bernard Person. Give that to whoever you will, depending on where you're at on the track.
Yeah, I was watching Lane Allen there with Bernard Person behind him, and it looks like they're making that outside line work. Lane's wobbling a little bit, but he was really steady there, and the top three cars on the outside line were hooked up really good just a lap ago.
Yeah, the racer in me watches this, and it makes me want to tell those guys, jump high, you can make it work, you know. But then again, if you get hung out there, you're going to the back at this point. So these guys are being really smart about their moves.
I think that's the broadcaster talking in here, not
Well,
the race car driver.
well, maybe it's that too. Yeah, the action here. I'd love to see the three, and we've seen the three wide racing, and probably we'll see it more tonight when we get towards the end of this race. Currently 8 laps in the book, working lap 9 here of 66. Mike James continues to lead, but the outside lane is just hanging there on the outside. The 7 of Schwingle, he knows it's a long race. I've talked to him before. He's pretty smart about his moves. He knows he's got a ways to go. Probably just hanging out right now.
Yeah, you got like first through 26th separated by 1.7 seconds. So nobody's lost the draft. This is an incredibly tight field here.
It sure is, and that's great for racing. But when things go wrong too, you're right on top of it. So that's how we ended up with a lot of cars tore up in the truck race. Everybody just really close together. And when one thing goes wrong, it's just compounded by the fact that everybody's right there together.
Yeah, and as the laps tick by, lap 10 now, tires are still fresh, still good. You get to about lap 25, 30, and you'll start to see a couple of guys wiggle here and there, and the inside line shifting, entering the corner, and you get real interesting to see who maintains their cool the best.
Yeah, I love this view, and I think I said it in truck race as well. We're looking from the front stretch, just following the cars all the way around with one camera down the back stretch, and you're able to see the run that the outside lane gets off the corner. Even with the car not being tucked right up behind the 7, he still gets a great run off the corner on the outside, and edges out in front of the 45, but the 45 is going to be able to come back the shorter distance around the track on the inside and retake the point through 3 and 4. And here you'll see the 7 get another surge and maybe make it to the line in front of the guys. So although the 45 did a great job getting off that corner there.
Yeah, they're getting really close to getting hooked up on that outside. I look for him to get to the lead here in the next lap or two. I was still looking at Spear and still impressed. Spear is sitting there in second, third. He's doing a great job again tonight.
Well, we talked about temperatures too, and the way these guys are running right now, they're giving themselves enough room to kind of monitor that engine temp for the most part, except for maybe on the straight, on the back stretch, they're kind of pulling up. But these guys are being smart about that. If you get tucked up right behind somebody and you stay that way, it only takes a lap. I know from experience, we did a little practice, and it only takes a lap tucked up behind somebody, and you'll end up damaging or destroying that engine.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it happens more on the inside lane, and that's only because you pretty much have to stay in line, When you look at the outside lane and you see guys, kind of jumping out a bit and getting back in line, and that's not always just, poor driving or poor handling. That is just a product of them trying to get some air in that engine and keep it from overheating. Whereas the guys on the bottom, they don't really have much of an opportunity to pop out to the high side. They'll cause a wreck if they try it.
Yeah, and we've seen that happen before too. And actually, you see down the backstretch, you got to kind of watch that 14. Looks like the 14's riding a little bit higher than the 7 and the 8 of Bernard Person behind him. You got to be careful with that because, we talked about how these bumpers don't line up. It really is tricky if you get to that corner there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you swing that car out and a guy just touches you on the inner half of your bumper, you're going around.
And we're seeing a lot of the cars move around, and that may be somewhat due to the fact that these tires are starting to wear a little bit. It's only 14 laps, but any amount of wear on these tires, and you start feeling that even at Talladega. And the Daytona's a little bit more pronounced, you start feeling it even more. But even here at Talladega, once the tires start getting a little wear on them, the cars move around a lot in the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm starting to think about some of these guys that are at the back. Didn't really take qualifying times, like, you know, Ralph Blair, Jeff Bratton, David Hensley, Richard Hines. These guys are probably starting to think that this is about the time. You know, tires are wearing a little bit, like you said. People getting a little antsy, and they got to be thinking, okay, is something going to happen? My options here are to get on the brakes and hope I didn't get rammed in the back.
Yeah, and the thing is, do you want to move up now? Do you want to wait till pit stops? Do you want to pit early? I mean, there's a lot of options here. Now, if you pit early, you want to make sure you're doing it where you don't go down a lap, because if you go down a lap, it looks like the 83 of Jason Spears off the pace.
Oh no, what happened to Spear?
Looks like he's having some connection issues. He just disconnected for us. Unfortunately, looks like he had some connection issues, dropped to the bottom, and not sure what happened. We'll see if we can follow up on that and find out. But meanwhile, up front, that's going to give Dustin Swingle the run he needed to take the lead from the 45 here on the outside lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to bring his teammate Forrest up there a little further too.
So that's a tough break for the 83. Not sure. I think he's just having some connection issues. Maybe some. He mentioned screen freezing in the truck race that he had at Dover. So maybe that came back to bite him tonight. Don't know. But man, from the penthouse to the outhouse, won the truck race and drops out early here at Talladega in the Xfinity race.
Well, he's still running, actually. He's on the track. He's about 5 seconds off the pace. So he'll be praying for a caution at this point as he's lost the draft.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But, I mean, I'm sure that reinvigorated some of these guys up here, though, because it looks like intensity's kind of picking up.
So right now, you got Mike T. James still leading the way on the inside. Dustin Schwindel fighting for that lead every lap. And Forrest will be in third. And Lane Allen, I believe, is still hanging tight on the outside, followed by Bernard Persson.
Yeah, so that's your top five roughly. Changes all the time. And like you said, we're starting to see things kind of pick up here. And we got a little bit of a gap between second and third on the inside lane.
Yeah, Stephen Loomis there looks like he's playing it cool. And he's moved up to 6th place from 11th, doing a great job.
Which, I mean, 17 laps in, there's really no need to get in a hurry here either. Just kind of, but you don't want to open that up. Somebody will dive down in there if you leave a gap too, though.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a fine line between, not really pushing, not taking any risks, and opening up a gap that someone will slide into.
Yeah.
And as we say that, him hanging out probably allowed Schwindel to take the lead on the outside here. It'll be interesting to see if he drops down at some point.
Looks like he's pretty content to lead that high lane, and just remains up there right now. The 14 kind of ducking to the outside, probably just cooling his engine a little bit, but looks like the guys behind him are not so patient. It's like they're wanting to go somewhere.
Yeah, it looks like Lane Allen is just breathing that engine, you know. I don't think people realize just how quickly this thing will overheat if you're tucked up under there.
Yeah, as I go through 3 and 4. 18 laps complete here of 66, and the pit window is going to open here shortly.
And we just had the inevitable happen. Forrest and Schwindel have gotten themselves together on the outside lane.
You said that, and I was looking around the track. I thought we had an accident or something, but yeah, you're right. Wow, I didn't even see that coming, and it's happened here.
It's funny, and they gave it up as soon as they got it, but they're controlling both lanes now, and they'll try and block both these lanes and just keep first and second to themselves.
But here's my thought on that. You're going to have a pit stop, so do you really want to get side by side? Because somebody's going to let somebody in. You got to find a way to the bottom to pit together, and now you see they're going to be separated by the 45 of Mike James.
Yeah, Mike James had about enough of that game, and he's going to jump to the outside. Really smart on him. I think he's getting frustrated with those two trying to work together.
Oh.
But he's going to be left on it. Oh, Swindle's going to take it 3 wide here.
3 wide for the lead going into turn 1. That's going to be the 7 of Schwingle. On the outside, Mike James in the middle in the 45, and looks like Schwingel's going to duck back behind him. And inside is going to be John Boris continuing to lead, and here he comes back on the outside. So we have 3 wide
Oh,
again for
Dane
the
Allen
lead.
goes up with him.
3 wide down the backstretch for the lead. And we talked about that high outside lane. We'll see if it plays out here.
Wow, these guys are going 3 wide already early in the race. Looks like that middle lane's going to take it. Mike James and Bernard Person pushing. You only got 2 cars on that high side. I think they're going to get passed by a bunch of cars here.
Yeah, Bernard was tucked right up behind the 45 of James and did a great job pushing, and that's going to put James back out front. He's going to pull down to the bottom and reassume the lead here.
Yeah, I seen Dane Allen jump up there with him. I almost, a friend of mine, I almost wanted to yell at him to not do that. It's, I don't think you're going to have many takers going 3 wide this early in the race.
Yeah, so it's going to relegate the 14 and the 7, both drop back to probably right outside the top 10.
You know, Jake Hounshell's worked his way up now. He'd be sitting, well, on the scoring, he's sitting 4th. I'm not sure where he is on the track exactly.
Looks like he's the 2nd car in line on the outside behind Bernard Person giving that push. So we're on board with the O2 of Hounshell. Jake Hounshell, there's a couple brothers in this race. You got Jake Hounshell and Jason as well. So wouldn't be surprised to see those two kind of get linked up and going somewhere. But the O2's giving the 8 a great push here. The 8's actually clear, but the O2's going to continue to stay right on the bumper, and they're actually going to clear the inside lane and take the lead here.
Oh, they're going to steal both 1st and 2nd away from Mike James. That's got to be frustrating for him. He's extremely fast right now.
And
as
Mike,
I say that, I think he jumped out to the outside.
He did. He jumped out to the outside in front of, who's the blue car? Is that our buddy TJ Martell up there in the top 5.
TJ Bartel quietly snuck up there. He's 2nd on the outside lane now, and he'll be looking to move forward even more.
Yeah, he's tucked up right behind the 45. And behind TJ, it looks like it's Jeff Sharp snuck up there as well in the 73.
Yeah, we got some good cars up here. Conklin, too, had a good race in the truck, is moving his way forward. Andy Tico in the 65 car hasn't got a call tonight. He's up to 8th from the 17th spot.
Yeah, Tico doing a great job out there. Shown some real speed lately, not just at super speedways, but all over the several tracks we've run recently, and even at Dover had a lot of speed. So great to see that out of that team. A lot of fun to see. He's got a great pusher behind him too. That's the 7 of Schwingle. I'm sure he's looking to get back up there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm always hesitant to use like the most improved driver tag. People hate that because they probably think they're already good, but to me, Tico has improved greatly. He's been, like you just said, he's been strong at every track this year.
And right in front of him is the 73 of Jeff Sharp. You know, we don't talk about Jeff all that much. Jeff goes about his business quietly, but it's always really fast, and been really fast at a lot of the tracks we've been at tonight, or this season, not just tonight. And just riding his in 3rd in line on the outside, just kind of cruising around, doing what he usually does, just be around there at the end. Right behind another very consistent driver, that's the 98 of TJ Bartel that we were talking about.
Yeah, Jeff Sharp, you know, he may win the award for fastest guy with the littlest amount of airtime because he's so quiet. He doesn't get involved in any wrecks. He has no problems. Doesn't make any grand moves, you know, but he's always there, top 5 all the time.
A true model driver, like you said. You never hear anything out of him, good or bad. Just kind of goes about his business and ends up at the front usually at the end of these races. Speaking about up front, looks like the O2's tucked up under the 8, pushing him down the backstretch, and they continue to lead on the inside line. Meanwhile, on the outside, 45 gets a great run with the help of the 98. Still 2x2 up front, and these guys have been side by side the whole race.
Yeah, Mike James here, he looks like he might be the fastest car out here tonight. He's been strong all day, and he just will not take 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. He keeps making those moves to get out front. But don't count out your point leader, Bernard Person.
Yeah, and Mike's doing the smart thing. You really don't want to lose track position here. You know you got a pit stop, but you kind of want to stay in contention up front. The farther you drop back, the harder it is to make it up. Not only on the track, but in pit road as well. You pit behind somebody and you open yourself up for issues coming into pit road. That's one thing you'll have to watch is pit entrance. Make sure everybody gets in there smoothly. We've seen things go wrong really quickly as we
Oh,
see it.
swindle.
Yeah, I was just going to say we see a 3 wide move by Dustin Schwingle trying to get to the inside of Sharp, and that door closed, and now he finds himself 3 wide with the
Yeah.
65.
Tico can't be too happy with this move. Swindle's just trying to bully his way into that position here, and it's a fair move, but still don't think Tico's going to be too happy with it.
Well, Dean, you gotta make position somehow, and the door opened, and he took it barely, but he made a move there, and so far so good for him. But now kind of stuck 3 wide here.
Yeah, hopefully Tico can tuck in here on this straightaway. Doesn't look like he's going to try. He's going to stay with that high side and see if he's got any takers with him. Maybe Lane Allen will try it for a second time, and he will.
Yeah, he's going to move up behind the 65, but let's see if the 14. Yeah, they're just going to jump back in line here. No need to push the issue here. Like I said, still got one more pit stop, and still a lot of racing left to go. 27 laps in the book. So.
You know, Brody, you look at those guys were back 3, 4, 5 cars on that outside lane, and that little juggle around still allowed that inside lane to pull away. I mean, the outside's closing up again now, but it's the effect of the draft goes so far back in the group. It's just amazing to me.
Yeah, you talked about the draft too. I want to look down the backstretch here, get a camera. You start to see some of the guys. You're starting to see some distance between the guys running up front, and some of the guys in the back. As you go, like I said, with the tires and all, kind of wearing the cars do move around a little bit more, and everybody's giving a little more room just because the cars are moving around. So you'll see some of the guys kind of breathe the car a little bit. And some of the guys in the back, honestly, are just riding to the pit stop at this point. They don't want to risk it.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm just looking ahead there. Jason Spear, they're coming up on him. He's only about a few seconds here from being lapped. If he's smart, he'll realize that it's really not that important. I mean, well, it is, but if the caution comes out, he'll still be the first car a lap down, and he'll get the lucky dog. So he shouldn't worry too much about this pack going by him.
Yeah, they're going to catch him here. I'm looking at the 14 of Lane Allen. In front of him, he's got a teammate, the 4 of Brian Bliss has worked his way up and right inside the top 10. So you got a couple teammates lined up there too. Still early, still too early to really make any drastic moves, but there's something to remember.
Yeah, absolutely. And those guys are smart to be lined up on the inside. You know, pit stops will be approaching, and you want to be on that inside lane. You don't want to be trapped on the outside. I mean, unless you're planning to run a couple extra laps. I always wanted to be on the inside approaching pit time.
Yeah, and we're getting there too. We're getting close, and looks like the guys up front have kind of moved up the track. The 8 and the 02 have moved up in front of the 98 of TJ Bartel, and now the 8's going to duck back down to the bottom. The 02's going to stay with Bartel up high, and we're going to have a race for the lead here.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Mike James still sitting right there in that 3rd spot, 2nd on the inside lane. Behind him is, I believe that's John Borst hanging around in there.
Yeah, Borst has been up there all night. Steve Loomis still hanging around there in 6th, 7th place. Dustin Schwingle.
You know, our biggest mover so far has got to be Jamie Christensen in that 88 car. He's worked his way up to 14th from 28th. That's a good job by him.
Yeah, well, we'll highlight Christensen here. In the 88, yeah, you're right. Started 28th, actually. It shows him currently in 14th. But it moves so quickly. He's been up and down. He's doing a great job out there, just being consistent and in contention, as everybody else is in this lead pack.
Yeah, I got a sleeper here, too, of Brian Conklin, you know. He's laying around right behind Lane Allen. And he was good in the trucks, and he mined his P's and Q's to a 2nd place finish in the truck race.
We got him 3 wide here for the lead. Looks like John Borst is on the outside. The 45, actually the 45's in the sucker hole at this point. and the 8 of Bernard Person on the inside of the 45.
Oh boy, sucker hole changes from a good to bad in the blink of an eye. So not sure how this will pan out. 3 wide.
3 wide down the backstretch. I mean, it's 3 by 3 now. They got 3 lines here. Wow.
Wow. These guys are, this is incredible. With pit stops approaching, I'm not sure this is the best time to be going 3 wide, but they might be trying to position themselves so they can come out of the pits in a better spot.
Dean, I'm not going to lie. At this point, when I see 3 wide up front like this and see racing like this is when I start backing off and going to the back if I'm not up front. If I'm not in the first 2 rows, I don't want to be near this. And looks like the 65 may have the same idea. But yeah, you see 3 wide. This is when I start backing up.
The other thing about 3 wide is I prefer to be on the inside. I mean, any wreck at all, and everybody's going to wash up the track. They will come back down, but you probably get by it if you're on the inside. If you're on that high outside lane, you got no shot at all.
Yeah, because it's a rock and a hard place, or a wall in a car if you want to go that way. You don't have anywhere to escape if you're on the outside. The inside, honestly, is probably the easiest and best position to be, but sometimes you don't get to dictate which lane you're in.
And after all the cards are shuffled and they're all back lined up, guess who's all lined up once again?
Back to the lead.
Schwindel.
Yeah, back to the lead is the 45 and the 8 of Bernard Person pushing him, but on the outside, you're right, we got teammates lined up again. Schwingel and Borst. BS
really,
Racing.
You got, and they're going to go to the high side here. These guys are making moves like crazy.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun to watch. Just the teammates take to the very, very high side there, trying to make something happen in lockstep with each other, just trying to make a move. But boy, I think they stalled out here.
Yeah, Bernard's got some help from Jamie Christensen coming up the middle here. Looks like they're going to get a little lined up and maybe spoil the plans of those two. They're almost 4 wide there. Jeez.
This is some great racing, and they're doing a great job making it happen. And oh, you see the 65 take I think it's a 65. Yeah, Tico take a hard left turn to get to that middle lane, and honestly, that's going to split up Borst and Schwingel. Schwingel's going to drop back and have to fight his way back up.
Schwindel has been making moves like crazy, and he keeps getting shuffled back somewhere along the way. And it's got to be very frustrating for him.
Here comes the 45. He shot out in front of Boris to the outside lane. He's going to try to make a move and get back to the lead here.
That 45 of Mike T. James, he's got to be our race favorite at this point, the way he's looked. I mean, Bernard's looked really strong, too, as several other drivers as well. But that Mike James has done a great job.
He's got a lot of speed, and looks like Boris looked to the outside, and he was already clear of the inside lane, pulls down in front of the 8 of Bernard Person, who gives him a great shove, and is going to shove him back out to the lead here.
You know, I was just looking back at the 10 car of Mike Grandy. We haven't given him much of a shout. He's doing a great job, but as I was looking at him, I noticed Schwindel's got some damage on his right front there.
Yeah, it may be. I don't know if it's affecting the car, but a little slight contact out there when you're pushing. And I know those guys have been pushing kind of hard, the 7 and the 9. So maybe from teammates there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got Stephen Loomis still hanging in there, and behind him you got teammates and Brian Bliss and Lane Allen all lined up on the inside lane.
Well, I hate to spoil the party here, but I think in at least about 10 laps, we're going to start seeing pit stops. 37 laps complete. I don't see these guys going any longer than 47 laps at the most. So these guys have got to start thinking about that pit stop.
Yeah, it looks like these guys are considering, running this tank dry before they pit. They don't want to get caught pitting and having a caution come out. So they're going to wait it out. And you're right, around 45, lap 47 probably would be pit time.
Well, that would be ideal. You don't want to really pit early because you get out of sequence, get a lap down, then it's hard to come back from that.
You know, so far in this 26 car field, there's only one car that lost a draft, Jason Spear, who, you know, had some kind of technical difficulty there momentarily. He's a lap down. But other than that, everybody's in the lead pack still. So this will all be settled on pit road, I think.
You don't think Jason maybe celebrated a little too hard and damaged his computer, do you? After
He
swinging
might
the
have
truck.
popped that champagne all over his computer. It's hard to say.
We're riding on board with the 65 of Andy Tico, currently second in the outside line, following the 9 of John Borst. And you see this guy's kind of losing a little bit of track position here, but again,
I
Tico.
think we got pit stops starting here, Brody.
We do. We got people pulling off, peeling off. Let's see, that was the 4 of Brian Bliss, and some of these other guys are going to go ahead and make pit stops.
Yeah,
Stephen
looks like you get the
Loomis.
4.
Yeah, Stephen Loomis in the 17, Jason Hounshell, Lane Allen, Jake Hounshell, Richard Hines, and Kevin Cochran are going to be in the pits.
I'm going to stick with this and just see how these guys get in and out of pit road. Looks like Lane Allen's had some difficulties finding his pits. He's going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, the 14 looks like he missed his pit, and he's going to have to come back around. That's unfortunate for the 4 and for the 14 teammates there. That's a tough break. We're going to jump back up here with the leaders. We're going to watch another, it's going to be another group of cars pitting. The 45 peels off. A couple other guys here coming into the pits.
And I think they're going to have a big advantage because that first group did an extremely poor job. Brian Bliss got off pit lane first, but he's going to come out all by himself, and they're going to lose a lot of time here. This second group's going to have a big advantage if they can get themselves together.
Mentioned 45. He came in here as the leader. Get to his pit stall. Everything looks smooth there. Everybody got to pit stall. To the pit stall.
45 slid through his stall.
Oh, that's going to cost him a little bit of time, but it should still be in the pack here. Meanwhile, the 8, the 9, and the 7 are currently your leaders.
Yeah, they're going to ride the late strategy here. Looks like TJ Bartel's going to beat the 45 off of lane, but they're going to be way more organized, and they're going to have a better run, I believe.
Yeah, you got everybody's going to try to get lined up here and get back out there. Got to watch that yellow line. Tico's flirting with the yellow line there. You don't want to get a penalty coming off pit road.
And that third group is coming down now with Borst, Schwindel, I think Sherwood, Williford's in that group, Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, so these guys are pitting, and actually that leaves the 43 of David Hensley out on the track, I believe. I don't think he's pitted yet.
Yeah, he's going to lead a lap, but I think he's going to be all alone. That's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, he's caught up to the 4 of Brian Bliss. We're going to have to see how everything shakes out here because, man, I don't know. You're going to be strung out a little bit here, and it all depends on who you got around you to help you.
Yeah, that third group is a little disorganized too, with Schwindel getting out good. Borst is okay, and they got Tico with them, but other than that, it doesn't look like anybody else made it out very quick.
Well, 3 cars may be okay here, but it just depends. Actually, did Tico... I was wondering if Tico came in a second time, but no, that's going to be his first stop. So you got 3 cars here. They're really going to have to get lined up. They're the ones, I believe, that are out front ahead of everybody else. Although I say that, it looks like Sherwood and the 33. It looks like the 33 and the 43 pitting together.
No, it looks like the 43 pitted a lap prior to the 33. This is all very strange for teammates to not do a good job of communicating here on their pit stops.
Yeah, and who knows? It may have been planned. The 14 here rolling on pit road. I think he's lost his pit crew at the.
Yeah, he's searching hard for his pit crew. He doesn't know where it is.
The 33 on pit road, and that's going to hand the lead to the 43, but he's going to have to get going because he's got a group of 3. You got the 2 teammates in Tico behind him. We'll call them the trio there. And then behind them is a big gaggle of cars led by Bernard Person and TJ Bartel.
Yeah, that gaggle there will be, they're going to come up with the most momentum, I believe. You got TJ, Bernard Person, Jamie Christensen, Mike James. This will be the group to watch as we cycle through these, I believe.
Yeah, so that's the big group, although they are side by side at this point. So And it's going to slow their progress down a little bit, but still, you have more cars in the pack. I think they're going to be able to swallow these guys up pretty easy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to get up to, you know, Borst and Schwindel, two veterans of the Super Speedway. And what do these guys do? Do they try and join the back of the pack? Do they try and block them as they come up? This will be really quite interesting.
Well, there's the difference. You see the 43 kind of tagged along with those guys as well. So you got 4 cars in the line, and you got this group here kind of eating them up. About 2.5 seconds behind from what I saw.
I'm really shocked that it worked out as good as it did for David Hensley. He pitted alone, and he's going to come out. He's going to be sitting in 4th place right now, and he's got a good chance of hanging into this top group.
Yeah, these guys are catching about 3/10 a lap, 4/10 a lap now here, so they've got it down to. Well, now that it's reset, it looks like it's 4.8 seconds. So we'll keep a track on that.
Yeah, and your big, you know, people who had problems with the pitting would be Sherwood Williford and Jeff Bratton, actually teammates, I believe. They're both going to suffer greatly from these pit stops. So as the interval comes down just a little bit here, lap by lap, these top 4 guys are doing a great job. I don't think this other group's gonna come flying by them by any means. So it's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, that time by they were. It's hard to tell because the times are jumping around so much. I believe they were about. I hate to say that, they weren't maybe 3 seconds behind them.
Well, it looks like they were around. They've gained at least 0.3, I think, that lap. So they're gaining pretty heavy at this point. Right now, I got Bernard Persson at like 1.7 off the lead. He's probably already closed in from that. Looks like they're catching them awful fast at this point.
Yeah, visually at this point, it's like they're making a lot of time up here, and they've got the draft now, so it's going to be a matter of just pulling high and going by these guys, I believe.
Yeah, and with this, like I keep saying, we'll see what Swindle and Borst do, the veterans of the Super Speedway. They love to block, and they know the aerodynamics really well. We'll see how this plays out.
You got the 65 of Andy Tico going high there. The 43 is going to go low, and that's going to leave Bernard Persson nowhere to go. It's going to duck in behind the 43 and just kind of ease, and that's going to break the momentum, although the 8 does look to the outside now.
Yeah, it looks like Tico's little move to the outside has broke all the momentum of that pack, and that's going to leave it to Borst and Schwindel to stay up front, followed by David Hensley, who's in a great spot.
Yeah, Hensley is. Unfortunately, he doesn't. Well, I was going to say he doesn't have a teammate. I was mistaken. There is the 98 of TJ Bartel right behind Hensley. So a couple teammates lined up behind the front teammates.
Well, and he's got Sherwood here who's going a lap down. He could join this pack and help them out.
4 wide into turn 1.
Oh, 4 wide, wrecking Tico, Sherwood, TJ Bartel.
Wow.
Oh, that was terrible. Going 3 wide around a lap car, not good.
Well, but here's the thing. There was no caution for that.
Are they staying green?
Yes. Still green flag here. No caution.
That is unbelievable. There's no caution. We're going to have a 6-car breakaway here, and if there's no caution at all during this race, this will be for the race win here.
Well, you got the 9 of, to re-rack them here, 9 John Borst up front with Dustin Schwingel right behind him. You got Jamie Christensen now moving up to what would be 4th place behind Mike James on the outside. So those guys are lined up on the outside. 3rd car in line on the bottom. That's going to be the 43 of David Hensley. And then on the outside it's going to be...
Hensley's going to be at the back of this group.
Okay,
6th place.
That must be Bernard Persson. Bernard Persson snuck through there. He's still in contention here.
Yeah, so you got most of your fastest guys all race long still in this group, which is nice for them. But that was really quite unfortunate. We'll have to take another look at that crash at some point.
Yeah, we definitely will. It's unfortunate it didn't cause a caution too. That was a pretty major wreck with no caution. You hate to see caution laps here, but that was pretty deserving of one, and it was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. These guys are going to go around 2 by 2. Right now, it looks like they got a 10-second gap back to the Houndshell brothers and a large group of cars. We'll see if that other group can do anything with them.
Yeah, they seem to be losing time according to the standings here I'm looking at. So losing pretty quickly here. So these 6 cars up front is probably going to be between these guys.
And that's odd to me because the bigger group, if they get formed up correctly, which maybe they're not, they should be able to make up time on this group. They might have enough time to get back up here if they just got themselves all sorted out.
Wow, that is a rather large group. We're looking at the second pack here, and these guys are there's a lot. They're 3 wide right now, so that's not helping their cause. But yeah, there's plenty of cars in this pack to maybe make a run at them as fast as you catch guys. If you get lined up here, I got a feeling that you can you may be able to run these guys down. But racing hard with each other,
the way they are, it's not going to work. They
yeah.
just lost 0.7 on that lap, so they got to get their act together here.
And it's hard to do because everybody's a racer and they want to beat the guy that's next to you, but you have to keep the big picture in mind. You're racing at this point for 7th on back, so do you want a chance for the lead or do you want to race for 7th? And, you have to make a decision there.
See, my theory is it's checkers or records, so I want to win. I don't want 7th place, so I'd be screaming at the guys to get lined up at this point.
Meanwhile, up front, these guys continue to stay 2 by 2 up front, which honestly would help the guys chasing if they knew that. Help them if they would get in line. This would really help those guys really catch up quickly.
As you say that, Mike James jumps down to the inside, and he's going to take that lead.
Yeah, his car's been really strong here tonight. He's amazingly fast here. Looks like he's able to make his car do about anything he wants to. But he's got to fend off a couple of teammates if he's wanting to get this win tonight.
Yeah, well, those guys are getting boxed in now with Jamie Christensen, who's had a hell of a run from 28th. He's up to 3rd, looking to grab 2nd right now, maybe the race lead. He's got some help too, and David Hensley, and it looks like the 8 car of Bernard's going to step to the outside, and they're back 3 by 3 again.
It can be a little deceiving here, trying to see the relatives here. And I'm not really sure if I'm seeing accurate because they're kind of jumping around a little bit, but it still looks like the group back there is losing time. Although they are starting to get formed up here in the line.
Yeah, they're definitely still losing time. Not as much, but they need to get themselves lined up and lined up now. I mean, we only have, about 14 laps left?
Yeah, it'll be 14 to go at the line for these guys. And they didn't have to make up close to a 2nd a lap.
Yeah, that's just not doable. They're now 12 seconds back. They've lost another 3/10. They're losing about 3/10 a lap.
But, that says something about the guys up front as we see the 88 now take the lead. Jamie Christensen, we missed that lead change. He's going to jump down in front of Mike and take the lead here. But Mike's not satisfied. He's going to jump back to the outside. But that's going to make him 3 wide here. Nobody there with Mike. And it's the 43 and the 8 going to the outside. And, little personal note here. I know that the 8 of Bernard Person has made clear that he wanted to help the 43. Wanted to see the 43 do well. And looks like he's going to have his shot here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely he is. Those two will stay nose to tail, I would imagine. Mike James is the wild card here. He's not content with anything other than a win from what we've seen so far. So he's going to make a move. Just does he have any friends in this pack?
Well, why would he be? I mean, that's the thing, his friends. But why would he be? It's just his first race. He's not in points contention. He's not racing for points or anything. Anything less than a win would be disappointing here too. So I know he's shooting for the win. But you made a really good point. will he have any help? And so far, it seems like every time he ducks out, he's getting getting left behind. As we see all the cars go to the outside here, looks like they're going to try to leave the 88 of Christensen out to dry.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Poor Jamie Christensen, no friends at all. I'm thinking him and Mike James have got to get on the same page because it looks like it's going to be Bernard and Hensley, Borst and Swindle, and then you got two guys alone. They've got to realize that and get hooked up together.
Well, these guys are changing position awful frequently here, and we see the gruesome twosome here on the outside taking the fight 3 wide, trying to make something happen on the very high side.
Yeah, we definitely know those two are racing for the race win. I mean, nobody in this pack is going to be satisfied with anything but a win. That's for sure. So I certainly didn't mean anything that way. But Mike has shown the ability to get back to the front numerous times, no matter where he is. 6th, 8th, 2nd, 3rd. He gets back to the front within a couple of laps. It's just amazing.
Yeah, he's been really strong tonight, and able, like you said, to take the lead almost on command, it seems, just to make the right moves and get back out front. And currently back in the lead here, the 43 tucked up right under him. And the outside move by the 7 and the 9 didn't work out. They're going to duck back in behind the 88.
Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to learn at this point or just trying some things, or maybe they feel the positioning is better at the back. I doubt it. I think they were just trying that high side. It didn't work out. They'll regroup, refocus.
And here the 88 of Christensen's going to jump on the outside and had a great run. Looks like he's going to take the lead here from the 45.
This is just amazing how they're juggling the lead. I mean, guys go to the back, go to the front. This is really good racing up front here.
Well, Dean, we have 10 to go, so it's time to start learning and time to start planning your moves here. If you're going to get with somebody, you're going to have to find them in a hurry here. 10 laps will go by pretty quick here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like the only real chance for anything to happen would be back in this pack. I'm taking a peek back at it right now. They're still pretty disorganized. They're still racing very hard for that 7th spot.
Well, we've seen things happen before. All these 6 could get involved in, so I hate to even say that, but all 6 of these drivers, something could happen and take those out. So this guy's back there is still fighting for that lead position of that pack in case something like that does happen. But I'm kind of surprised that those guys weren't able to run these guys down.
Well, this pack here, they're coming up on the similar situation that caused a wreck earlier. And that's a lap car up ahead, and they're running 3 wide. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out.
Well, we're going to watch, we're watching 00 and 02, the two brothers, the Houndshell brothers. Coming up on
Jason Spears stuck in the middle there.
Yeah, in the sucker hole, and I think he's laps down. He's 1 lap down anyway. So, I thought we were going to have an accident there, but everybody kind of gets it sorted out, and
yeah, we were both just holding our breath for that one. That was a pretty tense moment. It looks like that's going to be it for now.
Yeah, these guys are racing hard back here, and anything can happen. I mean, a caution comes out now, it completely changes the complexion of the race. It puts everybody back in contention here. But it's, if a caution comes out, it's going to happen pretty soon. It's going to have to happen soon for anybody to have a chance. As the 17 kind of gets below the line there.
Yeah, and as I look back up front now, these guys still 2x2, pretty similar positioning, but they also are coming up on lap traffic. They got 2 cars here. It shouldn't play a major role, but it could. Someone could try to use this to their advantage here.
Yeah, that's Brian Conklin in the 37 and Bliss in the 4 that they're coming up on. It looks like those guys are going to move up and kind of stay out of the way, so not to interfere here. But the 45's retaking the lead. The 43 in 2nd on the inside. And 3rd guy on the inside, is that the 8 of Person? Yeah, it is. It's the 8 of Bernard Person on the inside. Outside lane is going to be Jamie Christensen, followed by John Borst and Dustin Schwingle. As they come by here, it's going to be 6 laps to go.
6 laps to go. It'd be interesting if these 2-lap cars can catch on to this pack here, and whether they'll have an influence on the race winner.
Yeah, they're dropping pretty quick. This lead pack of 6 cars, man, they're extremely fast, and I guess that's what kind of caught me off guard. These guys are fast, even running side by side, and it's not allowed that pack to catch them behind, and really is kind of solidified their position by doing that. They're able to kind of race it out amongst themselves.
Yeah, that pack is now 14 seconds back. I think when I first checked, they were 10 seconds back, so they're making no headway at all.
Looks like we had an accident on the back there. Looks like Will Long was involved in that. He's limping his car back around to the pits. Still no caution. As we
Yeah,
come
Will
by,
Long hasn't had a bunch of luck tonight.
it's going to be 5 laps to go for these guys. They're going to get five fingers in the air.
Yeah, and we got 2 relatively new guys, one very new guy, Mike James. He'll be leading on the inside with Jamie Christensen fighting for that lead on the outside.
All right, and here's my question. Who makes the move first? Because, they're going to try to drop kick the 45. Just because he's new, he doesn't have, any friends out here, really. But
Well,
are they going to be the first to make the move, or is it going to be the duo of Schwingle and Borst trying to make the first move on the outside?
yeah, I think I'd be looking to old, like Batman and Robin there, Borst and Swindle, whatever you want to call them, the dynamic duo. I'd be saying they're backing off right now, and they're looking to get a run, and they're just gonna hang Jamie Christensen out. Jamie's got to do some great mirror driving here. Oh no, and someone's turn. That's Borst getting into Bernard Person. Oh no.
Oh wow! So that's two of our guys up here. Now we're down to 4 cars. Still no caution out. 4 cars left here to battle for it all, and no teammates. Everybody's on their own now. They'll have to make some teammates here.
Wow, no caution again. I'll have to look at it. I don't want to make any bad comments, but it looked like a bad move, and I don't think Bernard's going to be too happy about it.
Yeah, maybe a push gone wrong or something. We are getting down to the end, but there's 4 laps to go. But yeah, maybe something happened there. I'm not really sure. We'll have to look at it again later as well. But no caution, so we're still green. It's going to be 3 to go here at the line. 3 to go, and the 45 continues to lead.
Yeah, you got Jamie Christensen fighting all alone on the outside, doing the side draft. He's doing a great job hanging in there, but he needs a friend so bad.
Now listen, I'm going to tell you a little something about David Hensley. He told me the other night, he said, I don't know if I need to get more aggressive or what to fight for these wins. Well, guess what? He's got a chance to show it right now. He's in second place, and the question is, what is he wanting to do? What is he willing to do here for this win?
Well, that's the thing. If you jump out, so now you're all lined up, 4 in a row. You jump out, will Schwindel go with you? Will Christensen go with you? Or will they just hang you out? There's only 4 cars here. I'd be willing to take the gamble, and I think this is Hensley's chance to be aggressive. Somewhere here, he has got to jump out to the high side and try and get around. And we got a caution on the track. It's going to end this race. How unfortunate is
like a damn axle.
Wow, that is unfortunate. Trying to go through the field here and see if we see something, and I'm not seeing any cars.
Like maybe Terrell and Sharp, they look like they're a little off the pace. Hard to say.
Well, we'll recap that here in just a second. We're going to stay with the leaders'
Looks
minutes. Go ahead.
It looks like maybe Cochran got involved in that too.
Wow. So no cautions for the big wrecks, and we'll go back and review this one and see what actually brought the caution out. And ended this race prematurely.
Yeah, it's a shame, but let's not take anything away from Mike T. James. He'll be our race winner tonight, barring engine failure or something. And he did a fantastic job tonight. We didn't see anybody else. We've seen several guys be able to move. Like Jamie Christensen was fast and made some moves. But James, my God, no matter where he went, he come back to the front within a lap or two.
Yeah, the Michigan native really had it all put together tonight. Started first, stayed up front, was able, like we talked about, almost able to take the lead on command, it seemed. And was up front the whole race, and was going to have a hard time fending off the guys behind him, but was in the right place at the right time, and the caution fell, and that's going to give him the win, and looking really strong out there.
Yeah, and Hensley, we're sitting here waiting. Will he do something aggressive? Something that he's been working on, and he just never got the chance. I mean, the caution took that away from him. That's unfortunate. But a
Well,
solid second place finish after a fifth place finish in the trucks. He's got to be happy overall.
and the thing is too, tell it two stories here, tell it two races, I guess. You got the leader or the winner, eventual winner here tonight. Started first. Meanwhile, David Hensley started 26th, so came from the back to the front. So a couple different strategies here, but we're going to come through the tri-oval here. 45 is going to take the checkered flag and take home his first win in his first race here at Full Throttle Sim Racing in the FTSR Xfinity Series. Congratulations to Mike James and David Hensley, Dustin Swingle, and Jamie Christensen, your top four.
Yeah, great job. As you said, the two strategies. Look at that. James started first, finished first. Schwindel started third, finished third. On the reverse end of things, Hensley started 26th and finished second. Christensen started 28th and finished fourth. So two varying strategies. Both brought all four cars up to the front.
So we're going to run through your finishing order here tonight at Talladega. The 45 of Mike James gets it done, takes home the victory tonight. And David Hensley is going to come home second in the 43. Third place tonight's going to be Dustin Schwingle, a great points night. We talked about that. It's going to be a good points night for him. Fourth place, an impressive run by Jamie Christensen. Fifth, Jake Hounshell. We've talked about them missing the wrecks and maybe having something happen up front. Well, that gave him a fifth place finish. Jason Hounshell in sixth. Richard Hines seventh. Charles Widener came from the back and able to have a great run here in 8th in the 95. Ralph Blair did the same thing, had a solid race and finished 9th, and 10th is Bernard Person in the 8th after having that contact up front.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Bernard there. Him and Boris got together. John Boris will be your 11th place finisher. And Kevin Cochran, he'll come in with a solid 12th place finish. Bobby Terrell will come in 13th. Jeff Sharp will be 14th. Stephen Loomis had a good night going, had a little issue there somewhere along the way. He'll bring it home in 15th. Brian Bliss will be 16th. William Long will be 17th. Jeff Bratton being your 18th place finisher. Jason Spear, our truck race winner, will come home 19th after some technical difficulties. Brian Conklin will round out your top 20. The rest of the field coming home will be Sean Russell, 21st, Andy Tico, 22nd, TJ Bartel, come home 23rd, Mike Grandy in 24th, Sherwood Williford will come home 25th, and Lane Allen, who is having a great run and started second, will bring up the rear of the field in 26th spot.
And we had a couple guys didn't start. Mark Herzog and Donnie Staubitz never took the green, so unfortunately won't be scored. Didn't earn any points tonight. It's unfortunate for him. But anyway, as our leader continues to burn it down here, James getting everything out of those tires and that engine, and why not? Don't think they'll be used again this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy it out there, Mike. Like you said, he's not really in the points because he's just joined, but a great race win, and it looks like he's really enjoying himself.
All right, well, we're going to get things together, get our ducks in a row here. Talk to a few guys after this race, this crazy finish here with the caution, and we'll come back in just a second. We'll have all that information for you. All right, we're back here at Talladega with the FTSR Xfinity Series presented by iRacing and presented by Full Throttle Television. And we're getting ready to talk to some of our guys that had pretty good finishes tonight. Getting everybody lined up and ready to go here, and seeing if our winner actually can jump in here so we can talk to him as well. But unfortunately, right now we don't see him. We're hoping he drops by here shortly. But we're going to try to get a hold of our third place finisher. I think I saw Christensen around here somewhere trying to hunt him down. There he is. I'm going to see if we can drag him up here. Jamie Christensen, you got us?
Jamie Christensen, I think you got your mic maybe muted. That was a great race tonight. You got yours on?
Oh, yeah.
There he is. Yeah, Jamie, great run tonight, man. Fourth place finish. You were up there all night, battling for the lead, swapping out and back. A lot of fun looked like out there too.
Yeah, it was a great time. I was so mad at myself at the end. I backed out of it. I was out there on the outside by myself and decided to just get in line and try to wait until somebody popped out to the outside again to make another run. But no, it was some great race, and I really enjoyed myself since I joined the league. And these guys proved it again tonight, whether as good as they are. So real happy with the run we had.
Well, we went caution free until 2 to go, and that's what you were referencing as far as dropping back. Man, it's unfortunate, but yeah, tell me about that. So you had a plan together. What was your plan?
Survive. That was the first part of the plan, but no, it was just trying to get somebody to go with me, kind of being new to the league, just trying to, mind my P's and Q's, but also try to be competitive at the same time. It's I got left a couple times, I noticed, but it is what it is, and I was just looking for somebody to go with towards the end, and I was trying to wait until the last lap or so to try to make a move. It didn't work out, and I was just trying to get as much as I could.
Well, we were actually up here talking about that, about having friends out there, and we knew that you and possibly the 45 were going to have a tough go of it, just because some of these other guys, being kind of new to the league, you kind of, I don't want to say it's hazing, but you get to know guys, and sometimes I think you saw that tonight. Sometimes you pull out there being a rookie, and then nobody's behind you.
Yeah, I definitely got to experience that, I think twice tonight, but it's all good. I mean, it worked out. I mean, eventually, the field sorts itself out, and like I said, I was just real happy to have a good finish tonight, and just happy to be racing here in the league. So
Well, I will say with performances like that, Jamie, you keep that up, they're going to be lining up to get behind you because you've definitely had some speed tonight. You, the 45, all you guys up front. With 6 cars, honestly, we're pulling away from a large field, large pack back there. So I just want to give you kudos. I know I give you a hard time there, but yeah, definitely runs like that, and people will take notice, and we certainly did tonight. So congratulations. We're going to give you the mic though. Let you give some shout outs to the guys that may be watching or any sponsors you have. Take it away.
yeah, just like to thank my teammate Charlie Widener. He was racing with me this evening in both the trucks and the Xfinity tonight. So just want to give him a shout out and appreciate you guys for putting this on, and that's all I got.
All right. Well, there's your fourth place finisher, Jamie Christensen, bringing home the 88 in fourth place. Great run for him tonight. Was battling up front the whole time, and really able to make some moves there at the end. Just unfortunate that caution dropped, and Dean, that was untimely for him.
Yeah, it was untimely. I mean, but what a great race by him. I was really impressed with Jamie. He was one of the biggest movers of the night. Just purely, not from pit stops, not from anything else. He's just working his way through the field one by one. Extremely good job. Gained a lot of respect for him. I look forward to him having some great runs all season long.
All right. Well, we're gonna throw you down with Dustin Swingle, I believe, one of the pros out here, I would say, and let you see his take on tonight's race.
Dustin Swindle, got yours on?
Yeah, how's it going, Dean?
Good, good. Well, we had some high points, low points, and a decent third place finish there. Tell us a little bit about your night.
Oh gosh, well, it was an up and down night. Got a good qualifying spot and held on there on the outside lane for a while, and then ended up taking it to the outside of a three wide situation. Just fell back to about 11th place or so, and worked my way up, and then did the same thing and fell back down. So slow learner, I guess, but all in all, a decent finish.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. Yeah, we watched you. You're trying to get up to the front. You're taking it three wide, and you'd get up there, and then people would leave you. You'd get hung out, and you'd drop back to seventh or 10th, and come back up. But in the end, third place, not too bad. We were kept looking for you and John to get hooked up, and every time you would, you seemed to be breaking up. Are you guys trying to control both lines, or were you just having trouble staying hooked up, or what was going on there?
Yeah, I mean, we were nose to tail a couple times and trying to work together and just trying to see which lane would go, and it was tough tonight, man. We were both giving it our all, trying to figure out what was going on, where people were going to be. There's a lot of new guys out here tonight, and just trying to learn the field.
Yeah, for sure. You had a couple of new guys in Jamie Christensen and Mike James up there racing with you. How'd you feel about racing with those two tonight?
Well, yeah, kudos to them for bringing it home in the top five for both, and I guess for Mike winning the thing. It's tough to stay out of all the wrecks, and I think we probably got lucky on not being involved in some that didn't bring out a yellow, but all in all, good job for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. The one other thing I wanted to touch, did you hear it all from John or see what happened with him? Seemed like him and Bernard got tangled up. Just a racing deal, or you don't really know?
Yeah, I headed back to the hall after the race and found a replay of that, and it just looked like it was real close racing and tight, last laps kind of deal, and they made contact and it didn't work out for either one.
I hear you. Well, another great finish at the Super Speedway, Dustin. One of the best Super Speedway racers we have or have ever seen. Third place tonight. Congrats. And we'll give you the floor. Give any shout outs to anybody you want, any sponsors. The floor is yours.
Yeah, as always, a big long list of people to thank. So first of all, Full Throttle TV for bringing the race to the viewers, FTSR for holding the race tonight. Got to thank my sponsors, Grainbelt Northeast, Lumicraft Johnsonville, my teammate at BSM, and then all the guys back at the shop.
All right, that's Dustin Schwindel, your third place finisher here at Talladega. Brody Hanna, I believe you caught up with David Hensley.
Yeah, I walked down here to the 43 pit, and David pretty much said, I'll let him say it in his own words, but he said, man, two more laps. He had two laps. And then the caution came out and just didn't have enough time. David, it's got to be a little heartbreaking, but honestly, a solid second place finish and a solid run tonight.
Yeah, I really didn't want to see that caution at the end.
Yeah, and it's tough to swallow. And honestly, after the accidents we had with no caution and then get a caution at the end, it's really disappointing. I think for everybody to see something like that happen. But man, let's talk about your run. Solid run up in up in the front. Towards the end anyway. I think you started towards the back and just kind of worked your way towards the front through pit stops and stuff. I'm sure you saw some crazy stuff as you were working your way through.
I didn't really work my way through. I made up a lot of ground on the pit stop.
Brody, if I could interject there, I just wanted to ask you about that, David. Your pit stops, you and Sherwood in particular pitted both alone and both on separate laps, and you pitted basically all alone. Was that a miscommunication of the team, a plan? Tell us what happened there.
I don't like pitting with a bunch of people. I'd rather exactly how that worked out is how I hoped it would. That way, I can focus on getting on pit road, not dodging cars, or everybody's got different braking points, so you run over somebody. I would just prefer to pit by myself rather than with a pack.
That's an interesting strategy. Interesting to say you did it on purpose. I didn't think it'd work out, and you came out in the lead. That was a great job. I'll throw it back to Brody here now.
Yeah, Yeah, Dean, that was impressive. We kind of followed that with you and with Sherwood, kind of pitting by yourself. And I think you even mentioned that to me before the race about not liking to pit with a big group of guys. We saw it. Fortunately, we did not see a big wreck getting to the pit stalls, but we've seen that before. So that was a great decision, and definitely worked out for you. So congratulations on second place, and was a solid run. But we're going to throw it to you. Go ahead and give your thanks out, your shout outs, anything you want to get out. The floor is yours.
Oh, just same old thing. Sherwood, TJ, and Jeff. Yeah, like so, we get out there. You and Dean are involved too. We get out there and practice and tear stuff up in practice so we don't do it in the race. And I think all that helps.
All right, and there's your second place finisher, David Hensley in the 43 STP machine, bringing it home second place. Great run for him tonight, both in trucks and Xfinity,
Good
and
job.
and I'm sure he's just wondering what if there.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked a bit about it was his chance to show some aggression and make a move there, and it sounds like he was waiting to do it, and unfortunately the caution come out, but a good second place finisher. But we got our first place finisher here, Mike James. I believe you're with him right now, Brody.
Yeah, I'm standing out here in victory lane with Mike James. Mike, newcomer to the league, but looked like a professional out there, man. You were able to make some moves that we didn't think would happen in these cars and was able to take the lead almost on command. Congratulations. Great job out there. Great win.
Yeah, thanks, Brody. I just want to say I'm glad to be here. I was just telling the guys in the waiting room, being my first race in this league, I had no idea that I'd be able to win the pole, let alone get lucky enough to win this thing. Yeah, it was a crazy race. I knew that it was going to be kind of hard to pass, so I knew qualifying position was going to be kind of a big deal. And like I said, thankfully we were able to qualify up front and kind of stay there the majority of the race, and had a lot of good guys to work with up there, and it definitely made the race a lot easier than I anticipated.
Well, Mike, I'm telling you, some of the moves out there looks like you practiced quite a bit. So why don't you give us a little, everybody, you're a new guy here. Give us a little background, kind of where you come from, or kind of what you've done, how long you've been in iRacing or in sim racing in general.
Well, I've been on iRacing for quite a while. I actually, not so much, as weird as it sounds, the driving side. I've actually been more into using the open setups to work on my real life racing. We've got a street stock and a super late model that we race in real life in Michigan, and we've been really using the iRacing service to tweak on our real cars and really work on setups and try things out. And as far as the super speedway racing goes, I've been fortunate enough to have quite a bit of time to run this week in the official cars, and that's really helped a lot. They drive a lot like the cars did tonight.
Well, Mike, it's really paid off, and we're happy to have you as well. Definitely a class act, and looks like you got plenty of speed out there. So you're going to be giving guys a run for their money, which is awesome to see. So congratulations, Mike. What we usually do here, we'll give you the mic and let you give any shout outs or any you want to thank any sponsors. And of course, you said you got your real race card, so if you want to throw them out as well, feel free. The floor is yours.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out and a big thank you to my primary sponsor, Menards. It's actually my primary place of business and where I work, and I'm really fortunate to have my employer step up and sponsor me in the real racing world, and a couple of my co-sponsors that also go along with them, Sealvest and TowSmart. All three of them have really stepped up and helped my real racing come through, and help my sim racing come through, and help loan some money to help buy content and buy cars and make my iRacing experience and my real life racing experience what I want it to be. So really want to say thanks to them. Thanks to the guys that helped me out on iRacing and the open setups, and thanks to all the guys that helped me out in real life as well.
All right. Well, there's your winner tonight. That's 45, the Menards machine of Mike James, taking home the victory tonight. And Dean, I think we learned a little bit about him tonight. Not only is he a professional on iRacing, but it sounds like he's got a lot going on with the real racing as well. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it's great to hear. You know, your real world race car driver sponsored by Menards, taking home his race victory here. A strong racer, obviously knows what he's doing. Very excited to have him as part of our league.
Well, we saw a little bit of everything tonight. I say that we saw a caution at the end kind of affect things. We saw a lot of pack racing, saw some moves, and three wide racing for the lead as well. What was your takeaway of tonight's race?
Well, I thought it was some great racing. You know, it was a little bit of unfortunate there with the one wreck we had that broke up the packs where there was no caution. That was unfortunate for several guys. But other than that, I mean, these guys up front put on quite a show, and that we've seen three wide racing, lots of two wide racing, swapping of spots. I was really impressed by how the cars performed tonight, let alone the drivers.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we're going to throw up, remember the events that we have coming up. Every Thursday we'll be live here on Full Throttle TV to bring you truck and Xfinity racing action from the Full Throttle Sim Racing League. So make sure to tune in October 18th at Kansas. It's next Thursday. And then we'll go to Martinsville, Texas, ISM Raceway, and Homestead, Miami. So I'm looking forward to a lot of great races. We're halfway through the season. Got a tight points battle going on, and looking forward to seeing how some of this stuff develops as we go.
Yeah, we got Kansas coming up. As I know that one of your favorite tracks personally, and we're looking for the High Line to there come in. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of fun to watch. So make sure you tune in every Thursday night here on Full Throttle TV for that, starting at 8 o'clock. And also don't miss our Dirt Series as well. The American Dirt Series, Sprint Car Series, this Sunday at 7:30 will be our second round of the season, of an 8-race season, at the dirt track at Charlotte. And then on Tuesdays, we also have the modified series. There's going to be the dirt track at Charlotte as well. So a lot of things going on here at Full Throttle Television. A lot of racing action for you guys to check out and enjoy. And we'll hope you tune in and enjoy what we have to offer. But that about wraps it up here at Talladega Superspeedway for the FTSR Xfinity Series. Again, congratulations to Mike James in the 45 on his first race, first win here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. For Dean Doucette, I'm Bernie Hanna, wishing you guys a great night, and we'll see you next time here on Full Throttle TV.